I'd now like to give you a few general ideas I have for dealing with parties or people in power at the negotiation table. Some negotiating partners, such as monopolists, will of course have much greater power, which means that you will need to do a lot of work away from the table as well. We'll cover the topic of monopolists in more detail in a separate course, or check out our online course, Negotiation Compact, in which we cover some ground on that subject. Show the appropriate respect. This doesn't mean giving in and accepting what the other person wants or says, but treating them appropriately with the respect they deserve by virtue of their position, authority, and experience. I'm an admirer of Frank Bettger, who was originally mentored by Dale Carnegie. Bettger was a baseball player who, in the first half of the 20th century, had to give up his career through injury. He went on to work in the world of insurance and was actually on the point of giving it all in because he was of the opinion he'd failed so many times, and then he learned from others how to make a success of it. Bettger went on to become quite a rich man and closed insurance deals with wealthy businessmen and women across the United States. He learned not to be scared or submissive, but to show respect and an interest in the other party. Through great questioning and excellent listening skills, he became not only a business partner, but friends with many of the people he sold insurance to. If you're interested in Frank Bettger and his stories, check out, amongst others, his book, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. Frank Bettger was a master at showing an interest in the other party. People in authority often like to talk about themselves a lot, so show an interest in them. Ask them about their life and their career. Ask them what their first job was, how they got started, what have they done during their career, how did they get to where they are today, what tips do they have for you, for your own job and career. So show them the appropriate respect for their success. As I said before, this doesn't mean giving in, but you'll be far more likely to get them on your side if you listen to what they have to say. You could also try some tactical changes. Why not surprise the other party? For example, you could change the personnel on your team. This makes it clear that they cannot always be sure who they're going to be dealing with. It introduces an element of uncertainty into the situation, and importantly, it shows that they don't always have the power to control the process all by themselves. The importance of practice and training is paramount. Always strive to improve your negotiation technique or techniques. People in power sometimes think they don't need to prepare so much, which makes them complacent. So do the opposite. Just because the other person or party seemingly has a lot of power, a lot of authority, you don't think that you have to be submissive. But thinking like that will be reflected through your body language. You want to make sure that you remain at eye level with them and remind yourself that you are the negotiator for your party and therefore you have decision-making authority. It makes no difference how old you are, or if there is a gender gap or a gender difference, or even if you have less negotiating experience than the other person. Remember, you are the person with the authority to be negotiating for your side. One of the most important things I've discovered when negotiating with people in power, or those who like to wield power, is to be able to say no to them. You don't obviously want to say yes to people all the time, because saying yes means making a commitment or giving in to them. It's far too easy for them then to win you over in the negotiation. And if we give in too quickly, we are likely to give in again and again, perhaps during the same discussion. So say no when you feel you need to, but you can find a positive way of doing so. First of all, make sure you're clear about the things that are important to you, where your own interests and those of your company lie. This might mean the way you use your time or your capacity, or actually doing things worthwhile and not forgetting other lucrative deals, etc., and other customers, of course. Be well prepared for the eventuality of saying no to your negotiation partner and find a way of presenting it in a positive way. To find out more on how to do that, have a look at the book, The Power of a Positive No, by William Ury.